안녕하세요 여러분, 폭쉬와겐입니다. 일단 오늘은 먼저 헌터 의상을 받는 방법부터 알려드리겠습니다. 제가 댓글에 걸어놓은 링크에 들어가셔서 일단 로그인을 하시면 됩니다. 로그인을 하시게 되면 이런 화면을 보실 수 있습니다. 친구를 1명 초대하면 헌터 의상을 받게 되고 2명 초대하면 백팩 트로피, 3명 초대하면 또 백팩 트로피를 얻을 수 있습니다. 오른쪽에 보시면 친구 리스트가 나옵니다. 디비전 없는 친구를 클릭하고 인바이트를 하시거나 아래에 있는 링크를 카피해서 공유하시면 됩니다. 그리고 친구와 같이 미션 3개를 클리어하시게 되면은 보상을 얻을 수 있습니다. 혹시 주위에 고민하고 있는 친구가 있다면 이 기회에 한번 같이 헌터 의상을 얻어보는 건 어떨까요? 자, 그럼 Sotg 오늘은 다크존과 엔드게임에 대해서 다뤘는데요. 같이 한번 보도록 하겠습니다.
So when I see my bar go up, why am I excited?
So shade levels is, and we'll go a bit more in that, basically the field proficiency system. So the watch is the name we use for the shade levels, right?
쉐이드 레벨을 올리면은
Sorry, Bruce.
저희 크리티컬 데미지를 올릴 수 있네. 맥스가 20이네요.
Can you give us a little?
So these are permanent stats, by the way. So as you earn XP,
한번 올려놓으면
as you
계속.
level up your shade level, you actually get points to invest in stats, right? And you can kind of choose within that which ones you want to permanently increase.
The scavenging category.
Yep.
So can you? How does that work?
So basically, like, scavenging is this category that you can essentially do, you know, as many times. It doesn't ever like cap out.
Yeah.
You can say, hey, you know what? I'm a little short in credits, so I want to get credits.
Okay.
Or I want this kind of, you know, polycarbonate or electronics or whatever, right? Are you crafting? Do you need resources for recalibration, right? With our recalibration stat storing, do you need resources like cash to like buy stuff from a vendor because maybe they have something super cool with a god roll on it this week or whatever?
That's cool. I like that. Legendary.
전설
What
난이도
can you tell us
나오죠.
about that?
If you remember from, was it 1.8 in Division 1? It was first introduced there. The same concept. You can do it either solo or 4-player. It scales. So the important thing is it has a brand new version of the Black Tusk. So the Black Tusk obviously are dressed in all black.
Yeah.
The elite version that's used in the legendary missions are all white. They have brand new AI. We don't want 95% of our players to play this necessarily. We want this to be for the top 1% or whatever, right? Spoiler alert, but the tank in the legendary version of
햄버거,
Black Tusk,
탱크.
instead of having a healing hive on his back, he has a wasp hive on his back. Is he wants to close the distance on target, so the closer he gets, the wasp hive starts attacking you, and he becomes incredibly, incredibly deadly the closer he becomes.
And someone was asking if you can solo legendary.
솔로 레전더리.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Because
You can
it scales,
try.
like you said.
It scales.
Right? Yeah.
So in heroic scales too now. I think it's really important, right, that that the solo players out there feel like,
You got stuff to
all
do,
of this
right?
content
플레이도.
is for you too.
Main show gameplay footage
Yeah.
did have
어제 메인 쇼에서
a 1,000, inventory.
That is not a thing. So the important thing to remember here is if you play today, you might be in the situation where your inventory is kind of full a lot. And because you're hanging on to gear and you're like, hey, I don't really know if this is useful. Should I hold on to it for recalibration later?
어제 그거는 개발자 빌드였다고.
The important thing to note is when recalibration stat storing rolls out with Warlords of New York, or in TU8 actually, because it will be for everyone. This stat is better than what you have on your bench. Put it on the recal bench, and that'll just clear out that inventory.
One of the main
이게 그거
on
디렉티브
the new
모두 추가하는 거죠.
with the directives. Very cool.
So directives are they're player selected difficulty modifiers. You choose to add them, all for the promise of greater rewards. Once you take over a control point, it's taken over. It's yours. You're not going to lose it again. But the important part is you now have the control yourself as the player to reset it. And if you change the difficulty, everything scales to that level. So you can play control points, you can play activities, and on top of that, directives can be applied.
여기 설명 나오네요.
That's really cool.
이렇게
Super long mission.
글로벌 디피커티 만들 수 있고
Absolutely.
글로벌 난이도에다가 이제 디렉티브를 넣을 수 있네요.
There's a new thing here where
새로운 게 있다는데.
whether it's a mission, a control point, or you're wandering around the world, that there are some surprises that will be injected into the game. What I'm alluding to is not hunters. They've been training a little bit. They've been upgrading themselves.
Show go long, but let's get
But
going.
Dark Zone. If you are a player that is okay with running into other players and kind of the lawlessness of the Dark Zone, go to the Dark Zone. That Dark Zone experience for those players.
Yeah.
We're no longer trying to make a Dark Zone that appeals to everyone.
And as we're talking about raids, will there be a raid leaderboard reset?
Makes a lot of sense, right? If you consider the crazy amount of changes that we're making to the RPG. It's going to fundamentally feel different.
Yeah.
Because we have a completely different RPG and you're going to build slightly differently than you did before.
왜냐면은 지금이랑 타짜빼 하면은 완전 다